Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. For those of you that are new here, welcome. My name is Celine, and today we are going to talk about Persephone as part of the shadow work series we've been doing over the last couple of weeks. So in the Greek pantheon, Persephone was essentially kidnapped by Hades and taken into the underworld. Now, during that time, her mum Demeter didn't know where she was. She got really upset. And this is where the seasons started coming in. So, because she got really upset, the earth was said to have gone barren. Things weren't growing, things like that. So, Hecate spoke to Zeus and asked if he could come to a deal with Hades. And they did that. They did that, and then Hades agreed to allow Persephone to come up to our kind of level for 6 months of the year to appease her mum, and the rest of the time she would be down with him in the underworld. So this is where our seasons come in. Obviously, when she comes up, we're coming into spring, and when she's going back down into the underworld, we're going into autumn. And, that's whether you're in the northern or the southern hemisphere. So she's also in that archetype, she's seen as quite naive. When she comes up, she's with the spring, so she's to do with rebirth and things like that. Now, some say that Hades kidnapped her, and obviously that's not a very good thing. But in some texts, especially Sumerian and Mesopotamia texts, it's said that she actually did end up falling in love with Hades, and she became the queen of the underworld, and she really embraced that role. So she got over a kind of naivety, she got over that trauma of being taken away from her mum, of being kidnapped, and she became the strong, powerful woman, which is what these archetypes represent. So Persephone as the archetype represents the dual nature of the feminine, embodying both the naive maiden core and the empowered queen of the underworld. It signifies a journey of transformation, often triggered by trauma or sudden change, that leads to self-discovery, resilience, and a deep understanding of both life and death. Individuals with this archetype are often intuitive and adaptable, learning to navigate and integrate their experiences to find personal fulfillment and sovereignty. So you may recognize that archetype within yourself. So there is a light kind of archetype side of this, but we're going to go into the underworld aspect today because that is our shadow. So you've got sovereignty and power. As the queen of the underworld, Persephone becomes a powerful, wise, and strong ruler of her own domain. Embracing the dark side, this phase involves confronting and integrating one's own shadow, trauma, or subconscious deaths, transforming pain into strength, which is what Persephone ultimately did. Intuition and mysticism. This aspect is often connected with heightened intuition, a deep understanding of the spiritual world, and the ability to guide oneself and others through difficult transitions. So Hecate, as we spoke about last week, Hecate was that guide for Persephone. She helped her move from the underworld into the upper world. She helped her mum be able to find Persephone in the first place. That's why you often see Hecate with that torch, that guiding light. And she also spoke with Zeus and got him to speak to Hades and come up with this agreement. So the transformative journey as part of the Persephone archetype, you could feel sudden changes. The shift from maiden to queen is frequently initiated by a significant, often traumatic event like loss, illness, or abduction, which is a metaphor for a sudden life-altering event. Embracing the whole self. The archetype's journey is about finding wholeness by integrating all parts of the self, the light and the dark, the innocent and the powerful, rather than rejecting parts of it. And then we have resilience and reinvention. The ability to descend into the underworld and return forever change represents the capacity for resilience and continuous self reinvention, maintaining a youthful spirit even through hardship. So I'll go into an example now with me. I was very naive, I was very timid. Before I had my awakening, and especially before I went into these shadow archetypes myself, these shadow aspects. And I was a lot like that. I guess I was still in victim mode really from my childhood, growing up with SRA, trafficking, and mind control. They were very much an Illuminati cult or part of it. And it was multi-generational, so I've kind of broke that generational curse. At least I hope so for my children. I certainly didn't go down that road, and I fought it my entire life. And then when I had my reawakening from 2012 onwards, I stepped into this kind of line of work and exposing it, but also helping others heal, especially the shadow. It's really important to do that, as we have discussed in other videos. So you might want to go and check them out if you haven't already. So yeah, this really helped me step into my power when Persephone came towards me with Hecate, and it made me understand what was happening, what my role was, and how to not see myself as that victim. It gave me more strength, more confidence, and all that kind of thing. And that's why I think this work is really important, and it's what I like to focus on. So that is, in a nutshell, the story of Persephone and Hades, and the relation to Hecate there. So in next week's video, I think we will talk about Selene, the goddess Selene. I did say we would speak about her. She also ties into this, especially with the Hecate archetype, and as I say, the Greek pantheon as a whole. So we'll do that next week. I am starting to do podcasts again to share my story of what actually happened. I have a few people I'm going to contact today. If there is any particular podcast you like that kind of delve into the truth really and exposing all these kind of things, you can let me know in the comments below or send me a DM. And yeah, and if you want to let that person know as well and give them my details, they can get in touch with me if they want to. But yeah, let me know if there is any podcasts you would like to see me on. I'm going to be doing a few, hopefully. It is quite hard though. I do get knocked back quite a lot, especially by the shills, because of what I'm exposing really and what I was a part of. So yeah, I will leave it there for this video. Check out the website if you want any help with anything. See the ways you can work with me. That's SeleneAlthea.com. And I will see you all in the next video. Have a lovely weekend and enjoy your day.